Hey everybody, welcome to You're Just Stupid, the podcast that makes you smarter and dumber. At the same time, we're going to have another great episode. Remember, I'm Rene, aka a giant useless penis. Maybe even the giant useless penis. And then we have Ray, aka the disappointing daughter. You know what, Ray? You're not a disappointing daughter in my book. If you were my daughter, you wouldn't be disappointing.
Uh, I'm gonna think my dad disagrees maybe and
Four
why
out
I'm
of
on here doing what I'm doing.
4 out of 10.
And
4 out of 10. 4 out of 10 daughter.
I'll take it, especially because you are probably wondering what we're doing sitting here right now next to this dead body.
That's why I'm disappointed in you, daughter.
Exactly. You know what? If I had a daughter and she came over with a dead body, I wouldn't be the happiest.
Is that
I
what
don't
we're
think.
is that what we're talking about today? Parental disappointment and dead bodies?
No,
Oh,
unfortunately, that's for another time, although that sounds riveting.
oh, because that's what I talk to my psychiatrist about every Friday. So, Ray, what are we talking about? A dead body? Ooh, hey. So, can I paint the story real quick?
Do you think you can
So,
paint the story?
yeah,
Sure.
I know this one. I know this one
Okay,
actually.
sure.
So back in the day when Ray and I were kids, we're identical twins. We were going along, and we were going along with our friends, and we all found a dead body, and we're like, oh shit, what are we gonna do with this? And then eventually we had a friend named Chunk, and he did a dance, and it went from there.
I think you're confusing Stand By Me with the Goonies.
Shut up, Ray. Our
Because
life
in the
was
Goonies, I don't think they found a body, did they?
no, but they had a giant friend who wore a giant like monster friend who wore a pirate hat.
That's true, Sloth. And if you
Sloth.
look up pictures of Chunk today, he is a he's does not look like what you'd expect.
He's actually fatter, guys. No, I'm just joking. Actually, yeah, he
No,
does. He does
he,
not. I'm actually legitimately looking at a picture of him right now. If
yeah,
you ask,
he has worked out and he's bald. It's very interesting, right? He's
yeah,
bald, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
he's bald. He's bald. You're right. Yes.
So anyway, can we get on with this dead body before it starts stinking? Because we have to do something with it.
Just like me, it's already stinking.
It's already stinking. So here's the thing. So we just killed this dead body.
Whoa! Hey,
We did. And we killed it in a very certain specific way that we have to kill it in order to make this whole kind of ritual thing work. Okay.
whoa! So we're talking about rituals also today.
Renee, we're just trying to deal with this dead body. Okay. We're not talking about anything. We're just trying to properly deal with the mess that we've
Oh,
created and dispose of it.
are you
Okay.
are you gonna eat that dead body, Ray?
Not quite, but I'm going to do some stuff with it.
Oh, okay. So we are gonna do something weird with it. Okay.
We're gonna get weird with it.
We're gonna. Oh, thank God. I was getting worried that this episode's gonna be too mainstream.
So the dead body that's sitting in front of us, I took a spear and I stabbed a guy through the neck.
Nice.
Yeah, which is what I was supposed to do.
To kind of paint a picture of what we look like, guys. Ray is actually 6'5", very muscle bound, and definitely the warrior of us two. I am actually 4'3" and very emaciated.
Very Yoda looking.
Yes. The body you must hide.
So this guy is laying down here and he's dead right now. And I'm kind of worried, Renee, that the people that his
Mm.
fellow tribesmen are going to figure out that we just came
Oh,
here and killed him. And we kind of need to do our shit and get out of here. So you need to be a little serious because
I need,
they're
I
going to
need, I
do
need to
to
stop
us
fucking
what we're doing
around.
them.
Yeah, Ray. If you
Stop
grab
fucking around.
If you, in your Amazonian size, grab the heavier part of the body, me and my
Nope.
midget size.
Nope. We're
What?
not doing that. We're not doing
Oh
that. You have
no,
to
we're
listen
not.
to me.
Okay, I'll shut up now.
This is all we have to do, okay,
Okay,
Renee?
okay.
We just got to get away before they come get us,
I'm
okay?
running. I'm running.
So we are going to kind of decapitate this guy, but
Okay.
we're gonna do it in a way where the neck is still mostly on. So we're gonna make an incision above the collarbone, above the breastbone as well, and so we have most of the neck.
What time period are we from? Because I heard you describe a tribe, but also this sounds very surgically precise.
Well, it is a very precise thing, and I'll explain it all to you later. But we kind of need to get out of here because these people are gonna come. So, okay, do you have the guy's head chopped off?
The guy's head is chopped off.
Okay,
Yes,
cool, cool. So
I've
then
done it.
now what we're also gonna do is we're gonna put in we're going to do a little bit like of an OG tube, like an orogastric tube, just with a string. We're just going to take a string and we're going to put it down the dead guy's mouth and like through either his trachea or his esophagus, doesn't matter. And we're going
Okay.
to tie it around just so we have it, like we can hold it easily. So basically
Okay.
there's a string that's just
So
going
and
through the
that
neck.
then we're just carrying around this guy's head with.
Well, we have to be able to transport it easily. Like otherwise we'd have to
Okay.
hold it
Yeah.
with two hands,
And
right?
that
Or like
that's
hold it by the
yeah.
hair and then the
We gotta
hair
have
might
our
fall
hands
out.
free. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. This we could just like tie it on our belt and we're
And
good.
you know what, Ray? For the rest of the scenario, I'm just gonna blindly follow you. You have a very specific plan, so
I
I'm
know
gonna
what
just
I'm
blind.
doing.
Yeah, you sound like you know what you're doing. So
Although
lead me,
Renee, you
Ray.
are gonna play an important part, so I
Oh,
do need you
okay.
to, stay
So
sharp.
yeah, for the rest of this, I'm gonna be very follower, very submissive. I'm gonna be your power bottom, Ray.
Ooh, well, power bottom is less submissive because you're the one generating most of the power.
I
So can you
mean,
just
but
be like a little twink?
that won't be hard for me to imagine it all being at all. All right, twink mode activated.
Perfect. So we got the guy's head,
Hmm.
mounted on our belt, and we're just gonna leave his body there
Hmm.
because fuck his body, right?
Fuck his body.
Well, we're not gonna actually fuck his body, but just fuck the body.
No,
We're
yeah,
just
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
go.
yeah. What you said, Ray? Yeah, twink mode
Exactly.
activated.
Inactivated. So anyway, so we're gonna run away now, okay? And we're gonna maybe not go all the way home because it's very possible we live kind of far from here and we want to get this shit done. Like
Yeah,
we all
yeah,
gotta get this ritual done,
yeah.
okay?
We
Um,
got to get the ritual done, right? Yeah, let's do it.
and specifically right now, we are in, the Amazon basin, specifically in Ecuador. It's kind of hot, it's muggy. There's things that are gonna get done to the head. It's moist down there.
We're running. I'm following you.
Yes. Anyway, so we're settled down at this point, okay? We have the head. We're safe. We don't think anyone else is coming after us.
Okay, cool. Thank God.
But like, why did we steal this guy's head? Do you know, Renee?
No, you're remember twink mode activated. You're telling me what to do.
Touche, touche. So, I mean, it's kind of something that it's kind of something that we do to try to get revenge on our enemies and try to avoid our enemies from coming back and hurting us.
Admittedly, killing someone and decapitating would definitely say, "Hey, I'm not gonna mess with those dudes. They're fucking crazy."
Right.
Especially because one of them is a giant Amazon warrior chick and the other one's a little twink guy.
Right now in the Amazon basin,
Hmm.
we are actually members of the Shuar or the Shuar tribe.
Well,
I
duh.
I saw it pronounced two different ways in different ways
The
I saw.
Shuar tribe.
Shuar, but it's spelled
Shuar.
Shuar. And we've been living in the Amazon for millennia. We've been
Hmm.
chilling there. And for a long time, our ancestors have been chopping off people's heads.
We're doing what our ancestors would do. Okay, this is not
This is a
something you and
long time
okay,
process. We're
okay.
doing the same ritual roughly the same ritual that our forefathers and our ancestors will be doing to their enemies in order to keep their family
Oh,
safe. Yes. So, do you have any idea what we're doing to this head, Renee?
well, let's see. We've already had an episode about mummification. We've already had an episode about satanic rituals. We've already had an episode about like paranoid world leaders. So I'm going to say that we're going to. I don't know. I give up.
You can't think of it?
No, I've never
Okay.
heard of this group of
So
people,
this is
Ray.
this is a great DIY episode because
Yeah,
you guys can do this at home. It doesn't just have to be in the Amazon.
I can have a decapitated head in my own home, and I could do this
This is
myself.
why we're telling you the step-by-step process, guys. So we're going to be shrinking heads today.
Oh, we're gonna do a shrunken head thing. Oh, I didn't. Wow. So wait, I guess I just never realized. I never knew where shrunken heads were from. Weren't they? I thought they were from Africa. They're from South America.
No, no. So yeah, it's only really from the Shuar tribe. That's what I'm going to call them because I think that's easier to
Oh,
say.
yeah.
It's
Schwa is a
really
lot
on the.
easy.
It's only really from the Shuar tribe in Ecuador and that Amazon basin region.
Oh, we're gonna be like
And
the guy who shrunk Beetlejuice's head.
I was going to bring that up at some point.
I got that ESPN, bro.
First of all, Beetlejuice is a great movie.
That's a
Second of
great
all,
movie.
if you guys don't know what we're talking about, there's a part in Beetlejuice where they have a guy with a shrunken head in the waiting room in heaven or whatever, the afterlife or whatever. And he's wearing a pantsuit. He's not dressed anything like the Schwa people would dress like, but yes, Beetlejuice is a great movie. But anyway, so we're in Ecuador. We're about to be producing this
Okay.
shrunken head, starting the process. And the reason I said we have to like kind of get it started before we get back home is because we live a long way away, and
Right, right.
we want to make sure that we get this process done before it starts
Well,
decaying.
is this kind of similar to when we go back to the Mummy episode I talked about? I don't know if you guys remember the Mummy episode, but where like we have certain like chemicals that we use to like desiccate the head.
No, no chemicals are used actually at all. It's actually like a very simple procedure. Um,
Really? So I could do this in my own basement right now.
DIY faux show,
Okay.
seriously.
So guys, this episode we're gonna do a step-by-step guide. I'm gonna do it with Ray, and then at
Hmm.
the end we're gonna post pictures of our enemies. I mean, these random donated heads that we have, and I want y'all to give us critiques. Hopefully, better than 4 out of 10.
Also, can you guys stop sending us heads? Like,
It's
you can
getting
send
gross.
some, but not as many
Like
as you're
the
sending
first
us.
30 or 40, I was
We're
flattered.
cool.
I was flattered. I don't know about y'all, but we're back in the old country of deep in the Ecuador in the Amazon, where Ray and I are from. Uh, we this is an honor, but now like I don't have anywhere else to put them. Most of my garage's heads they're spilling over to the living room.
It's too much.
It's too
Even
much.
after we shrink them.
This is them shrunken, guys. You won't, if they were like full size, like I would just have a giant pile of heads. I'd be living inside of a giant pile of heads.
So the Shua tribe is actually kind of badass because they were like basically the only tribe. I don't know if it's only, but in a couple articles it said the only tribe to not be like taken over by Spanish colonialism.
Oh, really?
And they
Okay.
like were for a bit, and then they revolted and killed a bunch of the Spaniards. And the Spaniards were like, "Yeah, we don't care anymore. Like, we'll leave you guys alone."
So they're still kind of a like so the
They're still
short.
around.
I was just gonna say, are they still around? Oh wow.
From what I saw, they are. Yes, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, but they don't shrink heads anymore. I guess that was outlawed in the 60s because they're like, meh. Yeah, so let's get shrinking this head,
Yeah, let's
okay?
start shrinking this head rate. Yeah.
Because the reason we're doing this is because this guy, what do you want to call this dead guy?
Um. Bob.
Wrong with Bob.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason we killed Bob is
Fuck
because
Bob.
he's a dick nose and
No,
he
seriously,
is,
his nose looks like a giant useless penis, guys.
so he basically like was my like war enemy, and so I
Mm-hmm.
had to kill him, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so I did kill him, as you know, and
Strong work, Ray, for killing
as
your war
evidenced by
enemy.
his head on Renee's belt right now.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm kind of worried because his soul is still like really active right now, and I don't want his soul leaving his head or his body and like fucking up me and my family in some way. So
So I'm carrying this head on my body, on me, on my
yeah,
belt, and I can tell you, his soul is extremely active right now.
we need to get this process
We got
started.
to get this started now, Ray. Like I'm not even gonna do any of my stupid asides or jokes, but I don't remember how to shrink a head. I tripped and fell and hit my head on a rock. You're gonna have to walk me through this one.
So everything, first of all, everything that we use for this like ritual process, so this the spear that I killed him with and the knife that I used to cut off his head, that all needs to be discarded. Any pots we use, because it's only used
You
once and then
gotta hide the
broken.
evidence.
Hide the
These
evidence.
guys get it. Yeah, smart.
Renee, you're going to be the elder tribesman
Oh,
for this ritual killing. And this whole time we're
is
doing
this because my
incantations
my
and
balls are really wrinkly and hang really low?
that's exactly why. And you
Okay.
make that noise every time you sit down. Yeah, I like that one. Um, sound like a bear. You're a twink, not a bear.
Fair enough. Anyways,
Anyway, and I just have to say this is like a very like honored ritualistic
oh yeah,
practice.
I'm the village elder.
But obviously we're gonna kind of like talk about this in a way that's easier for you to understand. So
Yeah.
normally Rene would be chanting and doing all of his stuff, but we're trying to get her
I've been
done.
doing this the whole in the background. I've been chanting like crazy, guys.
So what do you think the biggest problem about like we have this head here that's not attached to a body. We
Hmm.
want to make it smaller, but there's some bony piece inside that's really big that can't shrink. What do we need to get rid of?
The penis,
No, I know he's a dick nose, but
the skull.
the skull, there we go. Okay,
You
so
know, I never thought about that. Yeah, I guess the skull wouldn't shrink.
I
Yeah,
felt really stupid about that too because I was like, oh, duh, of course they don't have a skull, but I didn't
yeah,
even think of it.
Yeah, the skull doesn't like to expand or shrink for good reasons. Good reasons. That's evolutionary. That's a good thing.
Yes, that's true. So I'm going to take a knife or some type of sharp object and I'm going to separate the face from the skull. And basically, what's left when I do that, I take out the brain and the skull and all those nasty
Yeah, because just like
trachea,
the ancient
whatever.
Egyptians, we didn't need this. Fuck the brain.
Fuck the brain.
Useless
So
organ.
we want the hair left, but fuck the brain. So we take out the skull, and basically what's left is like this thing that looks like a really ugly Halloween mask.
So yeah, so I'm imagining like the eyes go to the tongue, everything else. So basically, you
Yeah.
literally just have the skin, maybe
You
like
throw
the
away
fascia, like so you
you
just have
throw
all
away
the
the
connective
eyes and
tissue.
the
Yeah.
tongue, and yeah, so it's still connective tissue and just regular like skin. Some muscle and some fat would be still on it. They did like to keep a lot of the fat and muscle on it. It seems like because they wanted the shrunken head to have as much of the characteristics of the actual person as possible, so they could recognize them.
Okay.
Creepily enough. Um, we separated that, so you know I got a really creepy looking Halloween mask. So we're gonna take a couple of like pegs or pins. In some places I've seen that they sew it too, but we only have pins here. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna pin the top lip and the bottom lip together in a couple places.
Oh yeah, I have seen that when I think of a shrunken head type. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
the mouth is and the eyes are always sewn shut. So the mouth
Is there a
and
reason for that? Is do they think like the soul's gonna fly out of there or something
that's
like that?
exactly right what it is.
Oh my
They think
god,
that's how
I
it's gonna escape.
got something right.
Yeah. It basically they want to have like the head as like a little head bag where they can put shit in it and like they don't want anything to fall out. So they like close up any orifices.
Okay, so they actually put shit inside the shrunken head?
They will, yes, they will in a bit.
Really?
Or we will. It also helps the soul not come out, but also like
It's functional.
it's functional because you want to put shit inside it. So the mouth, the nose sometimes is plugged up, the eyes are sewn shut. Yeah, and basically, like because if the mouth wasn't closed, so the eyes weren't closed and the soul got out, it's a pretty much like a useless freaking head. Like it has
Yeah,
no significance
yeah.
at all to it at that point. So then we're going to take a ceramic pot, the one that's in front of us right there. And Renee, since you're the elder, I know you hit,
That's my favorite ceramic pot. I love that pot.
well, we're going to destroy it afterwards, so
Oh,
sorry.
oh shit.
I mean, we can get rid of the head of the pot.
Well, I mean, we have to keep the head because we have to deal with this fucker's soul, dude.
That's what I'm talking about.
All
Okay,
right,
so
fine. We'll get rid of the pot.
Renee,
Fine.
I need you to continue with your incantations and I need you to dip. Yep. I need you to dip the head in. He's masturbating right now. He's the elder.
The village
So
elder. Leave me
he's
alone.
gonna dip
I just
the.
lost my favorite pot. I'm morning masturbating.
So anyway, so we're gonna dip it into the ceramic pot, which is filled with boiling water. Dip it in 3 times, and on the third time, leave it in there, please.
And the boiling water. Okay.
Okay, so
Hom
1,
nom shabai. Hom nom shabai.
2,
Hom nom
3.
shabai.
Okay, you got to leave it in there.
I left it in there. I
Okay,
left it.
so
In
the
my
head's
favorite
gonna.
pot. Yeah.
Okay, so the head is gonna simmer on high boil heat in
Okay.
the ceramic pot for roughly 30 to 35 minutes
Okay.
because we don't want the hair to start falling out because we want the hair to be kept in the body. Once you keep it in longer than 30 minutes, the hair starts falling out. We
But
don't want the
like,
hair to fall out.
but does like things like the fat and other tissues start boiling?
It does. And what happens when it starts boiling is, our skin's full of collagen.
Yeah.
And the collagen, when it's brought with the collagen fibers, when it's introduced to this like high heat source, like boiling water, it's going to shrink
Yeah.
and it's going to constrict. So we're going to take the head out. It's been like 30 minutes, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been using my ancient Shuar sundial, and I know exactly it's 30 minutes.
So, okay, let's take it out of the pot. All right. Okay, and then we're going to destroy the pot, remember?
Oh shit!
Yep.
I love that pot.
Destroyed. And then we're gonna. So some places say we let it dry, and some say we immediately get things going. But
No,
we can
we
do
don't
either.
we don't have time to let it dry.
Let's
Right?
just get things
This
going.
guy's soul's all over the fucking place.
The head is already like 1/4 the size of what it was in the beginning. So
Oh,
it's already
okay.
shrunk a good amount.
What are we talking about? Like my head or your head? Because you have an average side head. I
No,
have
I
a
have a small head.
I have a gigantic head because it's mostly filled with fluid and like useless trivia.
Well, that would go out with the boiling and the taking out all that stuff.
Oh,
So,
okay, good. So my head finally became normal size, and your head
so
became
it'd
even
be
more
like a
tiny.
quarter, yes, a quarter of the size of a normal head.
Okay.
Now, what we're going to do is we want to make it smaller. So we're going to take hot pebbles and like hot sand, and we're going to like put it in this bag of head that we have, or
Oh,
this
so
head.
so that's what we're putting in the head. I
Yeah,
thought we were like putting our loose change and our car keys in there.
no,
Oh,
maybe
okay.
at some point, but not right now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna take Bob and we're gonna put some hot pebbles and hot sand in his
Okay.
head. And good thing the eyelids and
This
orifices are
actually
shut.
does nothing for the ritual. We're just fucking with Bob now at this point.
Fuck you, Bob. And so basically what that does is putting the rocks and hot sand in the head bag is it draws out any extra moisture that
Okay.
is still going on. So that extra moisture being drawn out is then continuing to shrink Bob's head.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Renee, you as the elder,
Hmm.
you're going to take a hot rock that's like flat
Yeah.
and you're going to almost use it as an iron. And we're going to like iron out
Yeah.
Bob's face as if like Bob's face is wrinkled and it's our prom dress and we want to, iron it out. When you iron this guy's head,
Hmm.
I need you to like make sure you go all the way around and you kind of like pay attention to like every spot of the head equally
Well,
because you don't
yeah.
want it to shrink
I don't want any
like
wrinkles. Yeah.
simultaneously
Yeah.
so that like they're all shrinking at the same time because you don't want someone like you don't want it to not look like the person. You want it to look as much like the person
I
as
want
possible.
other people to know that this was Bob. Fuck him,
Yeah,
and we dealt with his soul.
exactly. So
Yeah.
after a little while of doing that, eventually you're going to come up with something that is about the size of your fist.
Does it go in my ass?
You're going to hang it over the fire for a few days just to let it dry out extra and get even
Yeah, because we've
smaller.
been boiling it like crazy. Yeah, we gotta
Right.
get all the extra fluid out.
And we're going to take charcoal from the fire and we're going to rub it all over the skin. Because I don't know if you have ever seen a shrunken head before. Anyone that's listening can go just look up shrunken heads and you'll see tons of. And they're usually, their skin is
Shrunken.
completely like charcoal black. And that's because they rub it all over them. It's not like their skin complexion or like the color it gets from aging or anything like that. They
Yeah.
purposely
Okay.
do that. So now that we're rubbing the charcoal all over Bob, he is now called a Sansa,
It's
which is
called a what?
spelled that the finished product is called a Sansa.
Sansa. I thought you said Santa at first. I'm like, whoa, wait, what?
This is spelled Tsantsa, Sansa, which is the final product of the
Okay.
shrunken heads.
Yeah.
Yes. So we did it. We got the little shrunken head now. Do you know what we do with it now?
Um. I mean, I have all sorts of theories, but this is a family-friendly podcast, so I can't say any of them.
Is it family friendly?
Oh, wait, hold on. Friendly, unfriendly podcast. Yeah. No, we're gonna fuck it or eat it or shove it up our asses or something.
Close. We're gonna
Oh,
wear
I did not want to be that close.
not really. We're gonna wear it around our necks for about a year.
That's still creepy.
Yep, so the warrior will wear it around their necks, and it's kind of like, I don't know, like a society symbol, like a social symbol to be having like this shrunken head around you as a necklace. It gives you like good juju from your ancestors.
Yeah, because you
It's
killed this guy, right?
it's
Yeah.
physical proof you killed this person, and
So Ray is elevated amongst our peers because she's wearing this shrunken head now, and she even broke my favorite pot. She just went around and just destroyed a whole bunch of shit after she started putting on. It's like,
so we're gonna have a couple parties.
hell yeah,
Um,
let's
they
do
have
it.
they have
I want a
specific
party.
names. There's a lot of partying that goes on once the head is shrunk. Like we like to party in
Fuck
Ecuador
yeah.
here. The last party of the three that we're gonna have is
Oh,
like
we have 3 parties. Hell yeah. You know
yes,
what? The Shuar, solid people. I like
awesome
them.
people.
I like
Yes,
them.
please don't cut off my head. The third party happens about a year after the head is shrunk. And that is basically, it's like almost like fulfillment party. Like you've done your job in protecting and your soul is no longer like harmful to us. So
Yeah.
now the head is useless now,
Okay.
essentially. Basically the head like has no meaning or purpose afterwards and they just do whatever they
Okay.
want with it.
Yeah, yeah. So that's when we eat it or fuck it or shove it up our asses. Okay.
Or sell it to Europeans because that's kind of what
Because
happened.
and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna sell." Yeah, because we've already know Europeans love to fucking hang around dead bodies. We already talked about that in a previous episode.
Well, yeah, like, and it was the same time period as our Mummy Mania
Yeah.
episode,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
Victorian era, where they were very into the macabre and the strange and the weirder the cooler. And, they're
Yeah.
traveling all over the world in this time period, these rich Europeans, and they go find the Shuar tribe and they find all these shrunken heads and they can't get enough of them. They're like, holy shit, this is awesome. This isn't something that this tribe does all the time. It's a very like honored
Right,
practice.
right. It's like the mummy thing where like the real prestigious mummies are the nobility. These are like you just killed your rival type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a big fucking deal. And
So can I take a quick guess?
go ahead.
Is this like the mummy episode where everything becoming a shrunken head?
Yes, Ecuadorians be stealing people out of graves and cutting off their heads and making them shrunk.
Just like the mummy episode. They couldn't get enough mummies, they couldn't get enough shrunken heads.
And you know what else is sad they started doing? Like war in this area between the tribes, and like
Mm-hmm.
the wars between them were is significantly increased
Mm-hmm.
because they were like, well, we can make good money if we, just shrink a bunch of heads and sell them to Europeans. But oh shit, we don't shrink enough heads, so let's just quickly do it and get it done with and kill a bunch of people and
Mm-hmm.
shrink all their heads.
Yeah.
So they think between like 80 to 90% of the shrunken heads on the market are fake, and I'm not really sure how much of them are actually fake, as in fake
I think
human
I think
heads.
I had heard that there's a lot of fake shrunken heads out there.
Because a lot of them are technically real human heads, but they're not real like schwa, like
Yeah.
ritualistic shrunken heads.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, and by the way, I looked it up. The Shuar do exist to this day still.
Oh, they
Yeah,
do. Thank you for looking
they
that up.
do. Yeah, they
Thank
do.
you for them. They just
Yeah,
don't do the shrunken head thing.
they look like regular. They wear business suits and
Yeah,
they go around and cry masturbate. Exactly.
all the stuff normal people do. It was kind of sad because like the Europeans kind of just exploited their culture and like they just started killing people in nonsensical ways
Hmm.
because and shrinking their heads because
Yeah.
they wanted to purchase them.
Why people got to have their weird fucking trinkets?
If you're one of those people that like is very weird and wants to own one of these shrunken heads or just
Hmm.
see if it's like a real one, like the one that Renee and I just made of Bob now, yeah, there's a couple of factors that are like really like telltale signs that it's a real or a fake. So first of all, like I said, the real ones will have that really dark charcoal looking
Charcoal.
skin.
Yeah, yeah,
So if you don't see that, that's obviously a fake.
yeah. We're making sure you can get the real deal stuff here. So like when you go to eBay, yeah, when you go to eBay, we want you to know what you're looking for.
We're here to help you out.
Yeah,
That's what we're here
exactly.
for.
For the podcast,
Um,
that helps you find good values too.
and also the face is going to be really narrow looking
Okay,
and the real ones, yeah, it's almost like a sunken in, almost like you're sucking in your cheeks look,
like you
and
have
you're
way too many or too few chromosomes type of look.
very very much so. And then also the strings that are connecting because they'll sew the mouth together. So the strings are usually left dangling, that are sewing them that's used to sew the mouth together, and they have
Okay.
specific knots to them. So they'll have like strings hanging down from their mouth, which is very common that you'll see a lot of the time. So yeah, so that's if you are looking to get a legit shrunken head from the Shuar tribe. If you come across a head and you are like, fuck all, fuck the police, I'll shrink
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Now you know how to do it.
Yeah.
Hope I got you out of a jam.
Yeah. Exactly. Agreed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I now learned. Oh, and funny enough, some of the things that the Europeans traded the Shuar for their shrunken heads were guns.
Yeah, I actually did read that, which
Yeah.
became problematic because it was money and then it turned into guns, and then the Shuar were like, wow, with these guns we can kill even
Guns, we can
more
kill even more
people
fucking people. Yeah. I was like,
and shrink their
the
heads.
shrunken head trade just went up. It got really easy now. So much for your ritual spear.
There's a lot more on this, but if you look up some of the statistics, it's pretty alarming. Fascinating, fascinating. So yeah, I thought this was kind of an interesting one. And we got to kill Bob.
Yeah, in the end of the day, you have to remember, Ray just became a warrior supreme. She captured Bob's soul, and she is now using it to control women's labor.
And I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode here because Renee, it says that we have less than 1 minute to continue.
TikTok.
On Zoom before we have to upgrade to Pro, which we are cheap asses and we ain't doing.
Unless you sponsor Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom sponsor us.
Sponsor us.
So everyone has a great day and good luck shrinking your heads.